Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of In the Crosshairs. My name is Freddie GrimyRannarr, and I've got a very, very exciting guest for you today. It is Kezziwow, the IGL of Astralis, the women's Astralis team. And is it Kezziwow? Kezzy? I never knew. Do I say the whole word?
It's actually a funny story. It's not really funny, but I don't really care what people say. Like people usually just call me Kezzy. And when we got our new coach like 3 months ago, he called Joanna Na, because that's her username.
Okay, yeah.
And I knew when he was gonna speak up to me, I was gonna correct him. It's not Kezzy, it's Kezziwow.
Kezziwow?
And he was like, it's like the Hungarian pronunciation.
Ah, okay.
Both, like it's like I say, wow, that sounds so fucking cringe. Like I didn't think this through when I picked the name. But let's just stick to Kezzy, okay?
Okay, we'll stick to
It's just
Kezzy.
Kezzy would be too short and no character in there, It's just...
Yeah, I think it adds some more like pizzazz to it. It's like it has just like a little bit more. But welcome back to the Insite channel. If no one knows what like this channel is about, basically it's the insight onto everything Counter-Strike. We have a lot of different series, one of them being In the Crosshair, so this is the 3rd episode. We've also got DE_constructed, which is led by Nero and Sam, and they like break down stuff. They actually did an episode on Astralis very recently. They did an episode on Na'Vi, and they're really insightful. And honestly, if you want to delve more into CS, I would really highly recommend watching that. But that's enough of the pedantics, and that's enough of the channels. Thank you so much again, Kezziwow, for joining me. And just starting off with like a really generic question, how did you first get into CS? Like, how did you first come about the game?
Depression.
That's so. I'm actually good. Okay, so we have a theory that everyone who like plays CS as like a high level or like works in CS is either older brother or like something happened in their life that they were like, I'm gonna go to CS.
Yeah. Well, long story short, I had a pretty rough time in my teenage years, and I was really into zombies that time. Don't ask why. And I was watching The Walking Dead,
Ah, okay,
and my
makes sense.
brother, I had like a really shitty laptop, and my brother was like, "Hey, there's a discount on this Steam zombie game. It was called the Infestation," and he was like, "Do you want me to buy it for it?" It was like €3 or something. I was like, okay, why not? I mean, he was always a gamer, but he never played FPS games.
Yeah.
I mean, only Overwatch, but I was like, what the fuck is this? Anyway, I started playing with that, and I searched on YouTube like stuff like how to do this and that in the game, and I ended up finding a Hungarian clan. And I found their Steam, but I don't even know what the fuck I did. And I was like, hey, can I play with you guys? Like, I don't know shit about the game. I'm kind of bad as well, but I would like to, get better and play with people. And I remember the first time I went on their TeamSpeak, I was 5 minutes like this. I don't want to speak. I was scared to speak on TeamSpeak. It was so fucking scared. The first time, like when you're not used to this, because I was 17, I started gaming super late. And when the first time you join TeamSpeak, you're like, I was super fucking scared. Like, what are they gonna think? But anyway, it ended up being super nice, and that game ended up kind of dying. And they said they would move to Counter-Strike, and I said, hey, can you guys give me your Steam account so I can try this game on your Steam account? With my fucking shitty laptop, I had like 70 FPS in the game. But I still ended up liking the game, so then I begged my parents for a new PC, and then it was more enjoyable, and that's how I got into Counter-Strike.
Yeah, because you've been like around the competitive scene for quite a while. Because we've seen like, especially recently with Impact, we have a lot of like newer women pros come up. But you've been like your first like Héjja TV game is 2017 at Copenhagen Games. So have you been like, how did you get into this early stage of women's competitive CS?
I mean, I was always, not always, but after like a few years of playing the game, I made like a Hungarian female team, and I don't want to like, be that person, but I was always really above their level.
Okay.
But since it was kind of convenient, right, that they're Hungarian, we can go on boot camps together, and we can like take these sponsorship organizations, whatever, just because we're Hungarian, And I really enjoyed that. It was like a comfortable space. And then I thought to myself, okay, I need something more than this, because like I had fucking 35 kills every game and they had like 10, and I'm like, And I was already joining back then, and I was like, okay, something has to change if I want to get myself into the competitive scene, or I can also choose to be just comfortable with this current state of nothing. But I decided I don't want that. So how did I think I ended up playing with friends, and then this girl joined there, and then we just made a team. And I didn't know much about how to make a team at that point, because like I only had this Hungarian example, which I did, so no one really taught me how to do it. So it was kind of bumpy in the beginning, and I ended up going to one Copenhagen games with those like girls. It was kind of a disaster. But I mean, Copenhagen games was the only space for women to go, right, without having to qualify for everything. And even with qualifications, there was never many spots for really women to show themselves. So Copenhagen games, it was for everyone, and I really missed that event. I think it was so great that it brought the community together, and I know that everyone misses it so much. So I think that's really sad that we don't have it anymore.
I was going to say, do you think right now it's kind of like a one step back that we lost Copenhagen Games, but then like a 2-step forward that we have Impact?
I mean, we can just talk about numbers, right? Like
Yeah.
the impact that Impact had on the female scene is just uncomparable. Like all these, like who would have thought 2 years ago that all these big organizations come into the female scene? I would have not. Like we had this team last year, no, 2 years ago in autumn, and they were like pretty good and stuff. It was called Isekai, and December came, and we were like, so what now? What the fuck do we do now? There was nothing. There was nothing, and so everyone went to like Valorant and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, I tried Valorant for 30 minutes. It's like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, no, I don't know. Fuck this. Like, even if I can only play Face It, Counter-Strike is still my passion. I can't just be like passionate about another game with the snap of a finger just for the money, because there's more opportunities in there. I tried it for 30 minutes. That's usually how long I try stuff. But yeah, I said no. And then 1 month later, they announced Impact. And then everyone suddenly came back to see us, side eye, whatever. Who am I to judge? And so I think it's great that we have Impact. Like without Impact, now we have these Sakura Cups as well, which are also adding one more layer, one more chance, one more opportunity for women to show themselves, and that's also great. So I'm really happy about how it is now. It's just, it would be cool if we could meet each other as well with the whole community, and that's what Copenhagen Games was like a good platform for.
Yeah, so do you think there might be like a replacement to Copenhagen Games, something that like because you were saying with Sakura Cup as an example, and you have like the Girl Gamer Fest, you have this Gamers Without Borders, which is like a women's edition now coming up, so you have a lot more things coming out of Impact. So from my perspective, it feels like Impact has like started it. It's like it's opened up the floodgates for all the other tournament organizers to start getting involved. Do you think there might be something similar to like Copenhagen Games, or something similar to that in the future?
I feel like for something like that to happen, it should not always be qualification tournaments, like, because like even right now that they extended the slots for like Dallas, it's only 3 teams from Europe. And in Europe, we have a hell lot of talent. We have so much fucking talent here. And it's like, I don't want to like take away the chance from like every other area, obviously, because it's normal that they need to be given a platform as well. But it's kind of shit for Europe, because like I feel like for Europe, they should add like even 6 slots. Because like the teams here actually do deserve it. I'm not just talking because we sucked in the season, but I really feel like 3 slots for EU is not enough at the moment. But I don't know if there will be a replacement, because that requires sponsors and all that. So I don't know. And viewership, like all that counts. And I don't think there's many measurements for that at the moment that like sponsor can work off of.
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't really answer that question.
Okay, so like just running it back a few years, you actually mentioned that when you were in that like Bulgarian, so that the Hungarian team, and when you went to Copenhagen Games, you boot camped. Was that so? Like, was that still like an option, even back in like 2017?
Yeah, but it was our Hungarian org organizing it.
Yeah,
Was it My Revenge? I don't know anymore. Yeah, it was an option, but it was not like we knew what we were doing. We were
yeah,
just like,
okay.
oh, we're
Just showing
gamers.
up, like,
Ah.
yeah, sure.
Like, oh. Yeah, it was, but it was not anything worth talking about because it was just, we were trying,
Mm.
we were pretending to be like gamers, but we didn't really know the real deal.
So is that it? Like with Impact coming in now, is that another thing that's really good about it? Is that it's like putting in this like professionalism into the scene, and like everyone now knows what to do? Because I feel like for when you were coming up, would it be fair to say that there wouldn't have been many people to like look up to potentially in the women's scene, but now like
Yeah.
you have that, and it's a very almost like it's a clearer path of what to do.
Sorry about that. Blushette. Nem. Like she sees something on the streets. Yeah, I think it's great because the players have this safety of being able to maybe leave their job, stop their studies. Not that I'm supporting that, but I think it's great that they're given like a chance to really do what they really want to do in life. I think that's great, and it adds this safety. And yeah, for example, like Impact is they are inviting teams that have organizations for this reason, to know that the players are safe and they're not being used, exploited whatsoever. So yeah, I think it's great how it is right now, and I'm so happy that all these orgs decided to invest into female CS, even if some of them don't do it for the right reasons. At least the girls get paid.
Yeah, it's like at least it happens type thing, and it's like a step in the right
Yeah.
direction. A
Yeah.
question that I was talking to a friend about recently, and we find it quite interesting. So with the CS scene, like in general, we saw a lot of teams developing as domestic teams at first, and then only in later years was it like international teams were becoming a lot more normal. But with the women's scene, it feels like the domestic stage has been skipped a little bit. Is it and it's more dominated by international rosters? Why do you think that's the case?
For me personally, at the moment, nobody in Hungary is even close to my level of not talking shooting, because I actually don't fucking know about how people shoot in Hungary, but like team wise, like
Yeah.
Counter-Strike has so many layers that like there's this ISF tournament, right? And Navi won it last year.
Yeah, in Bali, right?
Navi Javelins, yeah.
Were you
And
there?
no,
Oh,
I
okay.
I was I was asked by the Hungarian Esports Federation to make a team, and I instantly said no. Like there's only one girl in the Hungarian scene that I could imagine myself playing that stuff with, but the other three would be like the
It'd be
level
just
gap
unfun,
would be
yeah.
yeah, and like I don't enjoy CS when the level gap is so much, because like
Yeah.
if I'm IGNing, I need to micromanage everyone, and that's when I have to micromanage to that level of not knowing what to do and being lost. That's just a waste of time for me. And they even like offered money for me for it, and I was like, the money is not a fucking driving factor for me. You need to understand. And they kept coming back to me like, hey, you need to do this. You need to do this. Like, why the fuck do I need to do it? You're not my fucking boss. Like, it would be good for you, not for me, because you
Yeah.
get a fucking media coverage whatsoever. Woo, Hungarian team. And then what? We buy a slot. Let's say we go there and we lose 16-2 against everyone. Woo, we went to Bali. Fuck that. I can go to Bali whenever the fuck. Sorry, but really, I can go to Bali if I fucking want to, but it's not to fucking lose against everyone 16-2.
Yeah.
Please, like I have more dignity than that. And I think that's the reason, because like for example, a team like Russia, they have a shit ton of talents. They have
Yeah.
so many talents, and you can really just choose and make like 3-4 really strong teams. But if you're from Hungary, you're doomed. And we were talking about the same thing when this ISF thing was coming up, because Aurora actually played it with the Team Norway, and Luna, our Netherlands player, is also gonna play it. But like me, Spike, and Joanna were just like, nah, we just like, no disrespect to everyone, but at the end of the day, you have to stay real. Like you can't just. I rather practice with my team. Like I rather put my energy into stuff that's worth it. Like as I'm 27 at the moment, I really don't feel like I have time to waste when it comes to esports, because obviously I'm getting older, and I'm not here to waste my time.
Yeah, that's fair enough. And so you guys aren't a Danish team, but you're owned by a Danish organization. And in Denmark, there's a very flourishing scene. I think more than like any other country, to be honest. Like whenever I look at Denmark and I look at like the Power League and stuff like that, I always get a little bit jealous. I'm like, I kind of wish we had that in the UK. But so do you guys? Because you're not a Danish team, but because you're owned by Astralis, do you have any impact by like the actual Danish regional stuff?
Yeah, we're usually invited to. I mean, I'm not sure if we're invited, but we went to NPF. That was a LAN in November or October.
And it's next in
something like that.
May.
Yeah, but that's not MPF, it's a game box.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Okay.
So
yeah.
we tried to play in a Danish league. I forgot what it was called, because we instantly got rejected because no one is actually Danish in the team.
Yeah.
And they said even if with Astralis we can, because we need to be at least like 3 Danish or something, or I don't know how it works, I forgot. And we got rejected from that, unfortunately. We have been fun to play it. But we are going to these LAN events with the management, and it's usually super fun and it's super nice. So at least we have that, it gives one more chance for us to meet each other, because we really, really, really like spending time with each other in real life as well, not just on TeamSpeak. So it's a really nice opportunity to have.
Because like whenever I speak to a lot of teams, I find whenever they meet in person, it's like a make or break. It either makes you 10 times better or puts you like 10 times worse because you guys start arguing. So you were saying like you enjoy meeting up with each other. Do you think that actually improves your gameplay then in like the long run?
Yes and no at the same time, because like we are really, really like we're kind of like a sisterhood, but that's what we always call it. Because people say it's cringe. It may be cringe, but we're still a sisterhood and we're family. Like we really know everything about each other. And when we get the chance to go on like vacations, we are top priority for each other. Like that's how much we like spending time with each other. Like we don't only meet on boot camps. Like in fucking February or something, I was sad and I wrote to Joanna, hey, you want to come to Budapest for a weekend because I'm sad? She's like, yeah, I'm buying the airplane tickets now. That's it. And she came. And even in summer, we went on 3 vacations together. We already booked 2 vacations this summer. Like I'm going to Greece with Joanna in June, and then with the whole team, we're going to Bulgaria in July. So like for us, it's not jokes and whatever. Like we really are this close, but that led to one of our players kind of be a bit too comfortable, because at the end of the day, it's kind of like you're close friends and you love each other, but what if someone starts slacking? Like how do you tell them without hurting them while respecting that you're friends? And like as a captain, I kind of had to put it aside that we're so close, because if it gets in the way of achievements and like our mutual goals, then how is this gonna work? Is it gonna work? And yeah, so yeah, we had this problem with one of the players. I can't really tell you about the decision yet because it's not official.
Oh,
Now I have
so this is like a now decision.
Yeah. Like a week ago.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the addition of Manashine. Ah,
Oh
okay.
no, that was pure just Rachel didn't have enough time to play because of her university studies, and our schedule was really fucked up because of her. And as we really wanted to continue playing with her. Like we actually fought for Rachel for like 4 or 5 months so that the management wouldn't kick her, because they said that our schedule is just, you guys
Not
are not
good
playing
enough.
full time. It's not fair. Like that's not what we agreed on in the contract, and we fought for her. But then our new coach decided that we need a normal schedule, and actually prep has been so much more enjoyable since we have these normal prep times. And it's not because she's not there, because I'm really sure everyone really misses Rachel because she's a great player. But having like a normal schedule in life is so important, and we just managed to learn that. But no, now we are gonna have more changes in the team. So yeah, but I can't tell you more about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to get you in trouble because this is gonna come out tomorrow, so I don't want to get you in any trouble. So let's, just before you say anything that you're not supposed to say, let's stop that conversation there. But very interesting. Okay, so like talking actually about Mana Shine, because something I always want to say is that like how has been the addition of her? Like how has, she's like obviously a newer player in the scene, and has played in a round, but so you guys are talking like you are like a sisterhood. Was it really difficult then to let go of Rachel? And was there like, what was it almost like, oh, this is the girl that replaced Rachel? Like it was like almost maybe like a little bit difficult to like come to terms with the new five at first?
No, I wouldn't say it was difficult. We basically we made a decision that we are taking her because of ESL Impact rules, and then the next week we instantly ended up meeting her. So she was kind of like thrown
Nice.
into the den of wolves,
Yeah.
you know.
Could be hard. That can be difficult. That can be really hard.
Oh yeah. Oh, it was, especially that like we are really people that speak our minds, and sometimes it can be too much. Even like for myself, I know it that I'm like I really speak my mind, and sometimes it can, if you don't understand my humor, it can come off a bit as weird and rude. Even obviously that's not the intention, but it's like it takes time for people to get used to each other, right? But Luna has been doing great. Honestly, I didn't feel like she was gonna do this good because she's kind of like unexperienced compared to like us. We have played many years in teams and stuff, and she has got some harsh criticism, especially from me, because again, I'm a bit rushed by because of my age, and I keep telling her that, listen, like you're young, you have time, but you need to put in work and all that. And now I kind of think about her as a flower that we water her every day with the feedback, not in a bad way, obviously.
Yeah.
And she absorbs all the water. Like no water gets out of her little pot, you know. She takes every single criticism and she thinks about them, and she's not trying to fight it. Like, no, you're wrong because you know, like people like that are really hard to work with.
Very
Like
hard.
even if you don't agree with my perspective, you can just say, okay, I will think about it. But if you start arguing, like, no, yeah, you know, she said, okay, Kezzy, I was thinking about this, and what would you think if da, 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 da. And like she takes the information and she processes it the best way possible. So like every single criticism that she gets the next day or the next prep is gonna be changed, you know.
Yeah.
And like she does not miss a chance to show us that she's really oh, what's the word, when you're committed,
Committed.
that she's really committed, and she wants to improve, and she knows that this is like a big opportunity for her in her career, and she wants to, you know, fill in the boots as fast as possible, because Rachel has left some big boots behind her because she was quite a vocal person in game, and she was also really smart for the game. And when you replace a person like that with like a more of a silent person, it kind of fucks up the team dynamics, right?
Yeah.
It kind of fucks up the loud people and the silent people ratio, you know. And I have always really paid attention for this because I don't enjoy it when it's like only me talking, you know.
Yeah.
That's like that's really hard as the IGF when you know that you're the only one thinking, that all the pressure is on you because your players are not helping you. And I'm not saying that was the case in the team, but I always tell my players like, hey, we're all in this together. You need to count the utility too. You need to look out for patterns too. Like, you need to help me out because I play on this position, you play on that position. Like, just give me the info, you know? So, but she has been doing great, and she has really stood her ground, and I'm really proud of her for this.
So going back to that, so the point you just said there about like your team being more vocal and helping you, do you have someone in the team that maybe is like a secondary caller? So for instance, if you're playing Inferno and you're on one side of the bomb, you're on one side of the map on Seaside, and you have someone else on the other side, like do you have that other person that you always put away from you so you both can like relay the information to each other?
Yes, it's Aurora 100%.
Okay. And is that experience, do you think, just because she has so much of it?
No, she's an Earth sign. She's a Taurus. And I'm a Capricorn, so we're obviously now people.
Sorry for a second. I was like, what the fuck are you on about?
Like, that's the only reason. She's a Taurus. Answer. No, but really, Aurora is she also really speaks her mind, like really harshly, and like when she has an opinion about you, you will know about it really soon. And even like she's like, okay, you're a stupid fucking bitch, you know, like this. And
so she's very harsh then, is she?
Yeah, she is, but like for me, it never bothered me because like.
Is it something you need that? Because you were saying like you don't want to mess around, like you don't want to waste time. Like, do you actually need that to be like, okay, bam?
Yeah, Aurora is definitely that type of person that is like we're both dominant, me and her, but we're really dominant in different ways. Aurora is kind of like the person that's like, okay, so tomorrow we prep from 11, everyone be here at 11, and the first match is going to be Inferno, and the next match is going to be Mirage, be prepared for it, and you know? And she's like that. I don't care about that shit. I'm not like a scheduler, I'm more like an in-game. Yeah. I'm like, Luna, why did you do this? Why did you not fetch me in time? Okay. Why did you not refrag me? You know, like we're really was complementing. Yeah. No, complementing each other with her. And I feel like it's great to have someone like that in the team, so we don't just like float around in space. She really keeps us together, you know, like focus, you know, like when yesterday on the tournament after 11 games, I yawned and she's like, Kezzy, you should go get an energy drink. You're yawning. And I was like,
it's 10 p.m.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get a fucking energy drink, but
you're like, yes, miss. But, you know, I just want to go get a drink.
At the end of the day, she's right. You know, she's right. Yeah. You can't fucking fight it. Like it is what it is. She's right, and I think it's good to have something like that because like we need it.
Yeah. Okay, so would it be fair to say that you're like the cooler of the team, you're the like IGL, but she's the captain of the team. She's like the leader of the women. Is that fair to say?
In certain way, yes, but I feel like since I kind of got all these girls together, like I kind of handpicked them, and I'm in this team since like almost 1.5 years now. I still am the captain. It's just she's just like my little officer, you know.
Okay,
she's
I get it.
Deputy chief, always looking out for everyone, so they can't do anything bad. She's like my little chief.
Okay, I think that's like probably the best thing to have in a team, right? Okay, so talking about like your season, a season you just had an Impact. Do you want to walk us through that? You know, you've got a new person joining, and you've also got a new map added to the map pool. Like, what were some of the difficulties you maybe faced this season, and how much was like Mana Shine coming in and Anubis as a new map? Like, what extra difficulties may have that brought in?
Yeah, I mean, we took Luna in managing 1 week before the league started.
Ooh, so that's very
it was really hard, and the first time when we instantly went on bootcamp, right, 1 week after that, and she was really nervous on not just on the tournament, I mean on the official, but even just playing on bootcamp. She has never done that before, and she was really nervous. And there was this kind of intense situation on the first map versus the MVP, and I looked at her. I said, "This girl's gonna have a fucking heart attack now, or what?" So I took a pause and I said, Luna baby, look at me. Luna baby, now we're going to take deep breaths. So we did some breathing exercises. She was like, and after the game, she was like, Kezzy, I was actually so thankful for that. Like, it actually really calmed me down so much. But she was so shaky and she was so nervous. So when someone is that nervous, it adds this tenseness
to everyone.
Whatever on everyone. And then we had another player really like underperforming throughout the whole season. So I'm like, okay, I have a super nervous person. I have someone that's constantly just, underperforming. Then I have me. I need to believe in myself and all that, because I really felt like if I don't top frag, we're not gonna win any games. And when you have to IGL and you have that feeling in the back of the back of your head, it's really hard to play good. It's really hard. Like I felt like there was just so much stuff going on in my head while playing all the games, because I honestly I kind of how should I say this? We kind of knew this season was going to be doomed in the beginning. Like we just knew that it was not going to be our best season. And yeah, we ended up winning against MVP with this shit map picks, but anyway we won. And then we did not win a single game at the end after those games. So that was really tough. But it kind of became clear for me throughout the season that this can't go on like this. Like, because it wasn't even the new player that's like shaky and heart attack moments that was like underperforming. It was one of the more experienced players that was underperforming, and I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this can't happen. And yeah, we came to the conclusion that we're gonna do some like one player change, because we need something has to happen. Something fresh needs to come up, because if we go on like this, we're just gonna continue performing really fucking bad, and I can't have that happen once again because of my age. I just no matter how much we love each other, at the end of the day,
need to win.
I want to win a bit more than just one game in a season, because that's kind of like that's not Astralis values, We're still representing an organization at the end of the day, and it's kind of unfair towards them that they're like giving us this paycheck and we're doing like nothing about it. Don't get me wrong, we do practice a lot. It's just there was just problem with people's mindsets, and no paycheck can fix a mindset. I mean, unless it's a really big paycheck.
So there's a lot of stuff to touch on about what you just said, but the first one I want to talk about is you just mentioned right there. You were talking about Astralis, like, okay, so you're representing this organization now. Does it in a really weird way, the fact that there are like more organizations in Impact and the fact that you're representing Astralis actually put more pressure on you guys to do well?
I feel like in the beginning it was a bit worse, because like Astralis never had a female team, and Astralis is like, those are big boots to fill. Like, it's not just fucking big monsters 1, 2, 3 org. I just said something. It's Astralis. It's we can't just fuck around with that. In the beginning, I personally felt kind of pressured about it, because like for obvious reasons. But now I'm kind of like comfortable with it. Having other orgs around us is like, it's great, but how should I say this? Like, so that everyone gets like the same opportunity as us, they get salary, they get to play full time. It definitely adds to the pressure of having more competition, like competition in a way that they can be as good as us really fast unless we work harder than them, and that does put pressure on people.
Okay, and then so just going back and talking about like the season in general, did you see this season, especially with the addition of this new like superstar you seem to potentially have found, did you see this as like a season that you were building up for the future? With that, because you were saying like it seemed a little bit doomed from the start, so did you have to change your mindset of what you wanted to achieve? It's not victories, it's progression, but in your own way.
Yeah, it's kind of like foundation building. That's kind of what this season was for us. Like when you reach that point that you can't qualify for Dallas anymore because the numbers are just against you.
Because there aren't many games. Like, it's pretty cutthroat. Like, if you look at the teams who didn't make it, it's like you lose one game, it's like, oh, unlucky. It's like, oh, okay, that's like it's hard.
For NIP, it was actually so unlucky because they actually did beat Enigma Galaxy, and they really did deserve to qualify for Dallas, and that's one more reason to have more slots from EU. Please, like, what the fuck? That can't happen. Like, they really did deserve it. Like, when you put your heart into the whole season and then just one game gets you off the list, like, that is just wow. That must be really fucking tough.
Because was it Na'Vi Javelins? Was it them who like topped the scoreboard, or like in season 2, the team who came first in the group but then like lost in playoffs? I've completely forgotten the name now. Sorry, this has completely slipped my mind.
Creeper, I think.
Pardon? Oh yeah,
Think.
Who Na'Vi and like Na'Vi who went 6-0 in Group B in season 2, lost in playoffs to No Fear 5 and like didn't make it even though they went 6-0.
No Fear 5.
Yeah, like they lost, like they went 6-0 and then just like unlucky.
Exactly. That's just like, come on, like, they did fucking amazing. Just give them the chance, and like, imagine how they must feel in that situation. Like, I'd rather lose every fucking game in the season than go out like that, to be honest. Like, that's just like, nah. They need way more stuff from EU, that's for sure.
Okay, so do you think that's definitely a next progression for Impact, of like either more consistent tournaments, or from, because the women's scene is very dominated by Europe. Like it's probably like Europe and South America right now.
Yeah.
And like HSG are doing really well, to be fair, but like they're kind of the only team from their region. So like, do you see it as just Europe needs more opportunities to show that these teams deserve to be there?
Yes, and I think maybe organizations should speak up to ESL Impact about this. Like, hey, we put all this money into these teams, let's give them a chance, you know? Like, we can't just have 3 people qualifying each time. Like, I mean, 3 teams, not 3 people, but it's like
3
it's
single
just not
people.
enough. Yeah, because like, for example, in North America, people get so much fucking chances, and I get it because there's money there, woohoo, but it's like in the first fucking season, people didn't even have to qualify because there was just so little teams. Like Mary and Jennifer got together from the fucking corner store, they made a team and they qualified for ESL Impact. And in EU, you have to fucking sweat your soul out and pray to Jesus Christ to qualify. Like, okay, I'm really happy you get a chance, but is it fair though? You know, like, is it really fair? I have my opinion, but who am I to judge? You know, like, I feel like CRG Red or ex-CRG Red is the only competent team in that region, and they are getting way too many slots compared to, please, like, they go on and they get destroyed by EU teams 16-2. Like, come on, like, is that worth investing into instead of having more exciting games from EU?
Yeah, I think like as much as, so I was saying to you before, like I was at Katowice, and I was like covering a lot of the Impact stuff there, and I became quite good friends with the Saints roster, the American roster, and it's like really lovely people. They were very nice to speak to. However, when you like watch them on the server, it was like really clear, like it was like really clear there was a big issue, like a big difference, and that shouldn't be their problem. Like, they did qualify, they beat like EG in the finals to get to Katowice, but you're starting to see then like the problem between the the problem, like if there was the 6 European teams that didn't qualify, like the 3rd, 4th, 5th place, they probably would have been Saints. So yes, that's when you gotta like put into 100%. Evaluation. Yeah, like you gotta start evaluating a little bit. And I feel like that sadly is probably powers above us that will decide. But circling, so all the way back a little second, the season, is it like to concur that you guys are now building up a little bit more, and the next season, like this is when you maybe are a little bit more ready with your full roster?
I mean, we have the whole summer to integrate our new 5th, which we haven't picked yet.
What are you looking for in a new fifth? More firepower, is it?
We are also kind of figuring that out because there's like there's two different ways that we look at it. Like we are thinking of so Luna Maneshings was playing this anchor role so far, but my coach said we're gonna put her on more important roles because she does have the aim and she does have the capability to adapt to others and situations, whatnot. So then we decided that maybe if we put Luna on that position, we could get an anchor. So the people that are trialing are like not all anchors, because we kind of had eyes on some people, but it's quite visible that, you know, if you're not an anchor player but you're put in anchor positions, you will take too much unnecessary risks because you're used to being on the dynamic roles and you're used to going for the kills. But if you're an anchor player, you're usually just stay alive, multi-kill. That's all. Case dismissed. That's your job.
It's very simple.
And
like when you break it down, it's just like go kill.
yeah, it's simple, but it's hard to do it well.
100%.
That's the main problem of people. Like I feel like many people don't understand how to play anchor positions. When it's like worth to beat your teammates if you can win the round. I feel like many females, women, they kind of panic and they just speak to refrag people instead of, you know, playing it smart and calm and win the round. So that's why I'm saying that I feel like it's kind of hard to do it well. So right now we're kind of looking at anchor players, but Luna is also in this test position at the moment. So if Luna ends up being not good on these like more powerful roles, then what the fuck do we do? Do we put her back on anchor? And then our new anchor player will have to play a dynamic position. Like it is, it's we're So let's just say we're looking for an anchor player right now.
Yeah, that seems, I'm not gonna lie, that sounds like a really difficult situation. And
Yeah.
so you were talking about how if you don't frag out, the round or like the game seem quite difficult. Is that meaning, so is a lot of the game just because you're the IGL doesn't necessarily mean that like you can't build the game around yourself? So like do you have like so do you build like rounds around yourself because you believe that like you have the ability to perform in those roles?
I mean, usually not. I mean, I play quite important positions on the T side anyway. Like I'm not, you know, lurking and all that. I'm usually with the core. So I am many times like going in first and just entry fragging because I actually really enjoy that. I'm more like a playmaker on the CT side. I feel like I'm really good at finding good timings and outplaying the enemy, getting behind them, and then I usually give like so much info to my players so that they can, you know, stack sites and stuff. So, but yeah, like in this season, like not to talk about KD and stuff, but yeah. It's the numbers don't lie. You know, like I don't want to be that person, but everyone could have performed better, including myself. Obviously, like I feel like everyone has really underperformed this season, but I am not that disappointed with my own performance. Let's just say it like that.
Yeah, I think that's especially like considering that like not to like throw flame, but like you guys were losing, so it's normally quite hard to have like a decent performance. But I feel like you still maintain that, which is actually quite impressive in some cases. But okay, so delving more about your team, as it's kind of you've talked about a lot, like you guys do have big personalities around the team, and how do you maintain all these personalities in your team to create like serenity and create the perfect five?
Like it's kind of interesting because people always say that like big personalities clash and it's hard for them to work with each other, right? But like it's in our team, everyone is so different. Like our personalities are just so different, but somehow we go together so well. And I don't really understand how we managed to do this. But I feel like even if we're having like a tougher discussion or something, nobody forgets what we have in the background, you know, what's
Yeah.
that, how much we love each other. And like it really is just that there's like this is like a family, you know, and families do argue, and we just never really forget that it's all coming from a loving place and everyone wants to improve. So when we have an argument, it's never personal and it's never to hurt anyone. And I feel like people kind of get that at this point. Like we understand it, that like if I'm telling you something, it's because I might have a little bit more experience than you, and I might not be right, but it's on my heart, and I need to share it. I'm that type of person. If something happens, I can't let it inside of myself, because then it will pile up and it explodes. And I don't do that no more. So I just say, hey, why did you not refrag me? Sorry, I fucked up. Okay, moving on.
That's the best place, really. Yeah.
Exactly. Some people are like allergic to this. Like we had this problem with one of my ex teammates, that she never wanted like any feedback during prac, but like if you go after the prac and I'm like, hey, at 7-6, 135, you didn't refrag me. Why? She would be like, what the fuck happened at 7-6, 135? I don't fucking know. Like if I just ask you, why did you not refrag me? And you can give me like a valid answer, you just say I lived. I would be like, okay, understand. But if you start fucking bitching and being like, you know, that causes problems, and we don't have this anymore. People understand that we are all here to improve, and it just doesn't fit into the professionalism that we have in the team to react this way and to be arrogant with each other, because I'm allergic to that.
Yeah.
So we have huge personalities, all, but I feel like we would rather have it this way than having like 5 silent bobs, you know? Like,
100%. Yeah.
I don't want to play with silent bobs.
So, like, looking at this new fifth now, are you? So obviously, there's like the positions we've talked about. You trying to get like, is that anchor? What position we're getting? But is there an extra layer of we need someone to fit into this environment that isn't going to break it?
I mean, I feel like we're a really welcoming team.
Yeah.
Although I have heard like some stuff that people say that we like scream at each other. And I'm so fucking confused
You're
about
like,
this, because
do we? This is news to me.
yeah, sometimes we scream at each other with Joanna, but like it's not screaming at like I fucking hate you, you know? It's like, you fucking stupid bitch, peek.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm not there yet, you idiot. And it's like that, but like with me and Joanna, I'm Eastern European and she's from the Balkan. We're not gonna talk to each other like hey, could you please speak faster? Because you're baiting the shit out of me. And she's gonna be like, oh baby, sorry, I didn't mean to fuck you up like that. You know, we're just gonna scream, but like it's not because we hate each other, it's just the way we talk to each other. And at the end of the day, we will FaceTime each other and she'll be like, hi mommy, I love you. Did you see my new pants that I bought? You want me to show you? Okay. But I'm talking to Joanna's mother every single day just to tell you how fucking close we are.
Okay, so like it's like
sessions.
it is a sisterhood. Like you guys genuinely are
It
that
is.
close.
Like this is not fake. Like we are really close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. So that it actually it's very wholesome to hear. That's like it's really nice to hear because I think that's like
I feel like it's really rare.
Yes, I think whenever like I'm gonna put heavy quotations. Whenever I competed, like I played in intermediate. That was the highest I competed. But like when I played on LAN and stuff, like you really notice when like you've got 5 people there when you're like this is vibes, or if you've got one person that's like and it's like it breaks. Like you need to have all 5 people there. But so looking at like you guys as Astralis, do you like when you're on boot camp, would you boot camp at the same time with like because obviously the main and academy team have like they interact, obviously Zipex and Altex, like you know there's obviously some sort of like up and down with that. Do you ever interact with them?
No. Not
yeah.
really, no. We haven't even met them, to be honest. I mean, Aurora did because she was going on these Denmark tour, and when she's giving like autographs at Nexus, then she's usually with BlameF
Oh
and
yeah.
her device and maybe Glaive even. I don't know. She does it, but we only don't do it because we're like so rarely in Denmark, you know. But I know that we're gonna go to Gamebox with the talent team. They are gonna be there in a month, but that's it.
Yeah, because isn't that like during the major game box? So I was actually like unironically thinking of going over because I have a few friends in the Danish scene and they were like, come over, and I was like, oh, I actually could, to be fair. But yeah, it's like in a month. It's like, is it just after the major? Is it?
The major is starting around like 16, 18 or something like this, no?
11, I think. That's when I
11.
fly out.
Mm.
I
Well,
don't know actually when it. I don't
Gamebox
know.
is on the 26th. From the
Oh, so
26th to
that's
28th.
okay. Yeah, the major ends on the 22nd.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
it
it's
is
like
after the major.
right after. Okay, that's damn.
Yeah.
CS never stops, does it?
Yeah.
But so you don't, if you don't like interact with the main team, the Astralis fan base is very opinionated. I think that's very fair to say. Do you associate with the Astralis fans on both like a positive and negative side?
I feel like there's this really high standard for Astralis because there has been that era where for like 1 year they won everything.
Yeah,
And
they have like
people
the
are just
dynasty.
like, yeah, people are used to that. People are used to Australians having to win, and they have this high standard for them, right? But it's like when another team, like, okay, let's not call them by name, but like another Danish team absolutely gets like smashed, the fans don't say anything. Like, what the fuck is the difference? You know, I feel like it's double standards a bit, you know, like, can we just fucking give them a break? And yeah, I do agree that this change was necessary. Now, obviously, I don't know how Altex will deal with this pressure of being a media team because I don't personally know him. I don't know how he deals with the pressure, but I just every time we really like watching the games together with the girls and my coach, and we're always cheering for them. So we are like huge Astralis fans, actually. We always want the best for them, and I feel like the fans can be really, really harsh, like really harsh, and it's actually kind of annoying. Like, you know, there's that meme where the guy is on the couch eating the popcorn, and she's like, "Oh, they're not doing anything good." Like, you know, like, fuck off. What did you ever do in your life? Come on, like, just give them a fucking break. They're trying their best as well, but guess what? Sometimes the team dynamics are not the best, and sometimes changes are needed. No team is fucking the best from the first second of their existence, fuck's sake. But with Astralis, I don't know, people are so they're really unfair with the Astralis team. However, the Tenant team has been doing really good, and I'm happy for that. At least someone is doing good, you know, because we are not.
So do you?
Main team also struggling.
Yeah, so I was gonna say, do you like receive it? Because like you're just saying, like, do you receive any of that, or are you?
No.
Okay, so that's probably
not at all.
quite lucky, actually.
I don't think we're like, or I personally am that famous. Like, I don't consider myself famous in the scene, you know. So I don't think that like, you know, why would they? But even if they did, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest, because like I know both sides of the coin, you know, and for me, irrelevant opinions, they never really mattered. So like, okay, you're like free, everyone is free to have an opinion, but that's kind of why I hate the internet, because it gives a platform to everyone to share their shitty opinions, and they all think they are so fucking important while they are not, but the internet makes them believe that they are, and I'm like, oh, okay, go on.
Like, this is you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but like, I think it's a lot of hate gets directed towards Impact, which is very unfair. I think if you look at like HLTV threads, Reddit threads, like there's a lot of negative comments sometimes towards Impact. Do you guys like? Does that ever come to you? It's like kind of like not like just Astralis fans, but like in general. Like, do you guys ever get just like an abundance of hate sometimes?
I feel like the most hate we got was not because of Impact. It was more because we used to do a lot of content for Astralis, and we had so much fun doing all those things, like TikToks and videos and whatever. And we were like, oh, this is so cool,
Yeah.
and then you read the comments and you're like, go to the kitchen, can you parallel park, females, teacup
Yeah.
emoji or coffee emoji, I don't even know what the fuck it is. And it's like, is that really all that this is for you? Like, come on, like, just, if people really can't be happy for females getting a fucking opportunity, it's so tiring. Actually, like, I kind of had a fucking mini breakdown about this after like a few months of being an Astralis, because I felt like this is so great that this is happening to me. And you just know that it's jealousy. You know that it's jealousy, but still, it was like, that was the hate, and this was the love. And
Yeah.
after some time, it just kind of piles up, like I didn't do anything to y'all. I'm just going after my passion. I'm just trying my best, and you guys are fucking hating me for doing a TikTok video. Really?
Yeah. That's
Come on, like.
Mm.
It's unfair, but through Impact, like, I do sometimes read the HI TV comments, and there was one really fucking funny, actually. Because I don't know, the bad ones don't really get to me because I don't know, they just don't. But one guy wrote, Kezzy and Joanna can fart in my face and I won't be mad. I loved it. I screenshot it.
Sorry, what the fuck?
Yeah, I'm gonna tattoo it myself. I think that would be great.
That would be some tattoo. That is, I mean, that's what a bizarre comment.
Yeah, right.
But so like,
it can be funny sometimes.
yeah, it's like funny, but also like really weird at the same time. I don't know.
Yeah. But it's the internet. Like,
Yeah.
if you expect the internet to be like butterflies and
Yeah, it's
sunshine,
never,
then you're gonna have a bad time on the internet.
yeah.
And I don't read Reddit, just to reflect on that.
Yeah,
I can't use Reddit. I'm stupid for that. So
yeah. So I don't know if I'm like, this could be wrong, but are you sometimes when you're playing and like when you guys are succeeding, do you think you're almost like proving a point as well to be like, look, like we can do it, like stop trying to undermine us, like we're really good at this? And it's almost like a little bit like, does it give you a little bit of motivation to be like, fuck the haters, we're still gonna do it?
yeah, especially when they give us something like direct, like
Yeah.
when sometimes it's really rare, I have to say it, but like when we're pracking and you can, like, they just say one little small
When
comment
you're
about us
pracking,
being women. It's rare. Most people don't say shit. But like when in the chat they sometimes write something like, something about women. Oh, then I'm like, you have activated my trap card. And that's when I go extra ham. Extra ham. I'm like, bitch, you're not gonna fucking win against me.
you're
You
like,
are.
this is
I
official now.
know. Yes, I know it's prac, and I know the results don't matter, but I'm gonna beat you, and you're gonna fucking cry, and you're gonna disband because you lost against women. Because if you don't respect women in the game, you take it really fucking harsh on yourself and you lose against them. Especially a whole team. Five women. Can you imagine? That must be like heartbreaking for them. And I always beat these type of players. But even on Face It, when I don't know, my teammate is talking shit to me because I usually solo queue, or the enemy is talking shit to me. Ooh, like, you don't want to make me angry, because I'm like calm angry,
Yeah.
I channel all my energy into outplaying you while being the calmest fucking person, but inside I'm beating you up physically, virtually, in my head, But yeah, I just it's the recipe to lose against me, to talk shit, because come on, like if you're like rude to someone on the internet just because of their gender, you have negative IQ, and no one can convince me of the opposite. Like, talk shit about me because I have a bad personality, or I'm bad at the game, but not because of my fucking gender. Like, no, then you're just fucking stupid. It's just the same as racism and homophobia. It's exactly the same.
Oh, it's like, it is like, it's literally is exactly the same. Like, that is
Yeah.
kind of outrageous. I wouldn't have expected, like, of all places, prac as well. Like, I would have considered that maybe to be like the one place you wouldn't receive. Cause like, I know from talking to a few women players, like they say that they only actually practice against other women's teams. And do you think that is because of like, they get into a prac versus a male team and they're still getting hate?
I mean, I feel like this is kind of extreme to do that because, like, you can't build up this imaginary, sanctuary world where you're like protected at all times.
Yeah.
Like, you're at the end of the day, you're playing a video game that's 99% the player base is male.
Yeah.
You're not always going to shield yourself by just playing versus women and blah blah blah. And I feel like that's a bit like too much. But if that's what gives those women their safe space or safety they want, who am I to judge? I don't care. I personally wouldn't do it though.
Yeah, that's. I remember again. I was saying like when I used to compete, we actually we used to have the SCADA female team as one of our prac partners. I can't remember. I wouldn't be able to tell you who was on that, but it was like 2020, 2021 time, and we used to prac against them like weekly. And like yeah, like we just did like we never saw it as like a women's team. We were just like, oh, a prac team that like we just enjoyed playing against.
They usually have really interesting stuff as well, right? They
Some
have,
of
like,
the stuff that used to happen, we'd watch demos back and be like,
what the fuck is this?
Fuck, like,
yeah, exactly.
overpass pistol round CT 4 in connector. And we were like, I remember that to this day. I remember watching them like being like, surely not, like surely that wasn't it. No, 4 connector early. We went wrapped through con and died. And I was like, you know what? Fair enough. They can have that. And yeah, I guess just like a really final message to any like up and coming women's CS pros that are like trying to rise to the ranks. Do you have a message for them to maybe as well like to do with the hate, like ignoring the hate? Like do you have any message to anyone that should be like potentially like rising up and like getting to your level?
Sorry.
Yeah, don't worry.
I feel like women really like using this hate word a lot in the scene because like, but I feel like it's evolving, and Impact is definitely one of the first steps to like make people like okay with this. Like the fact that we have so many like women's games on HLTV, we're getting the men used to it, and I think it's great. Like, okay, again female game, maybe this is actually like normal or what the fuck. I think that's great. And you're gonna receive, yes, hate, but if you focus on that, you're never gonna improve. Like, you need to put that aside. You need to understand that some people have low IQ. That's just how I explain it usually. I'm not trying to fucking understand low IQ people. If you're trying to do that, you're gonna have a really bad time in life. Just fucking accept that some games are unwinnable. If you're with low IQ people, don't try to fight it. It's fine. Let it go. Next game might be better, might be worse. It is what it is. But I feel like as long as you show the people that you're playing with that you're tryharding and you're not being like a whiny bitch, sorry to say that way, but you're tryharding and you're giving your all into the game, you're usually gonna be fine. And just grind the game, learn new stuff, be eager to learn. I really like watching those analyzing videos when like pro IGLs or coaches analyze games and they say, okay, they did this because of this was the reaction to this. Those are really nice videos to make you understand the game more, because when you sit down and watch a demo, there's like many things that you might be missing, and this is why it's nice to have someone on your little shoulder, aka YouTube video, to explain you like why this is happening. Because maybe if you watch the demo, you're just like, okay, he rotated, but why the fuck did he rotate? You don't know. It's hard. So always try to like find the best way to improve and not just give yourself a hard time. And yeah, I mean, I just play a lot of deathmatch. Like, I feel like some people underestimate, especially in the women's scene, the deathmatch aspect of the game, but it's so important to be mechanically good. It's so important. Like, it's a game changer. Like, you give -95 or you kill them with headshot. It's a game changer at the end of the day. We can say it's not about the stats, but it's nice to have 30 kills, let's be honest.
Yeah, it's always nice. Well, I think that's a really nice way to end it. I think for like from my perspective, is like there's loads of stuff right now, demos, like as in like demo viewers, there's loads of YouTube videos, there's so many people, like may as well just utilize it. Like it's easy. Just because it's easy doesn't mean it's wrong. Like there's a lot of things to it, and I think, you know what, our videos on the Insite channel. If you want to get insightful, we've had like Devil Walk Thomas, IGL. You're the third, pretty much like IGL. Devil Walk's basically an IGL. We've got the other videos. They're very insightful. The whole idea is that we try to give a different perspective on the game, and that's kind of the aim of this channel. And again, Kezzy, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. Thank you so much for joining us in this week. It's been In the Crosshairs. My name's been Freddie GrimyRannarr. Thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you guys next week for a very exciting episode as well.
Thank you.